everybody, it's Catherine with a K. She's back. I know, hasn't it been a long time since I've seen you all? But there's been a really good reason for that, I promise. So, where do I begin? Right, well, after I did my last video, which was on my vaccination, if you haven't seen that yet, do check it out. I will put it in the card above. Bella got very poorly. Yes, she did. For a couple of days she just wasn't acting herself. She was quiet, she was withdrawn, she wasn't grooming, she wasn't purring, she wasn't meowing when she saw me. You just knew that she wasn't herself. I took her to the vet. They weren't overly concerned at that time. They felt her tummy, it felt a bit tender, so they gave her some medication for that. I thought, oh right, maybe now that's over she might eat and drink, because she hadn't been doing that either. Then she still wasn't right. I took her in for a second time. Again, they wasn't that concerned. They said if it carries on, bring her in the next day and we'll do some bloods. So I had to take her to Morley Veterinary Hospital in Leeds. Hello. She knows we're talking about her, don't you? Yeah. Come on, do you want to say hi? Anyway, where was I? Yeah. I had to take her to Morley because we couldn't get an appointment at our local vets in Rothwell. They did her blood and unfortunately her kidney levels were just really bad. For a cat, they're like in between 200, 250, but hers was over 3,000. So basically her kidneys weren't functioning, and the fact that it's because her kidneys weren't functioning, it was poisoning her. So we got her in. Sorry, she's trying to eat something, she shouldn't. We got her in, they pushed her with fluids, and she were like that for a couple of days. They were doing blood tests every day, trying to get these levels down. And they did actually go down pretty well. I think they went to about 1,500, but then they crept back up again. And I know then the vets were really concerned about her, because at this point she wasn't eating anything and there were blood in the urine, and they did say to me, you know, if this doesn't improve there's a likelihood she might be best her being put to sleep, which really shocked me because she's only, at the time she was only 3, you know, she's still very young. But I really wanted to try and just keep pushing and trying to do everything we can, because there was still a chance that she could overcome it. And then I think it was the 4th night I rang the nurse on the night shift to see how she was doing, and they said that she still hadn't been eating. And then they said, because sometimes it does happen when they feel isolated and they're not with the people they know, because normally they would let you visit her, but because of COVID they weren't allowing any visitors. And sometimes just seeing their owners or hearing their owner's voice does make a big difference. It makes them feel a bit more calmer and willing to eat and drink like normal. So I did say to her, actually I do have a YouTube channel, she'd always respond whenever Paul's been watching them, and they respond to it because they can hear my voice. And I thought it might help, it might just make her feel like I've not abandoned her. So this nurse plays it in the night, and actually it started helping her to eat, and she started eating along with an appetite stimulant. She actually did start to eat, not much, but a little bit more and more each night, and that was a really big help, and I think it helped her recovery. So on the 5th day they did her bloods, and I think her levels were close to 250, so we had got them down, and she'd had an ultrasound, and the kidneys had started to improve. There was just a little bit of scarring, which they were not surprised at, they were expecting that. And I said, right, well, I think if we've gotten to the point where we've done everything we can, we need to get her home and just try to manage her care from home. So we did, we got her home, and I were in tears when I saw her because she'd lost quite a bit of weight and she'd got patches of her fur missing, and she just looked really sad. But you know what? She was so happy she was home. She was meowing in the car ride. She was purring, and oh, it was so wonderful to have her home again. We missed her so much. It wasn't the same without her. And you know, we were just so happy. Leo wasn't. Leo wasn't. He was growling, he was pissing at her because she smelled so different. She wasn't fazed by it. She was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you hissing at me? I'm your sister, you've known me all your life, you idiot. But it was because of the smell, because she smelled like the hospital, and it did take him a good few days for him to really settle down and to get used to her smell and to get her smelling like the house again. And so that was fun. So that's one of the reasons why I've not been doing my videos, and the other reason was because of my health, because my migraines have been up and down again. But for quite a while I was missing work. I was coming home from work at like 4 in the morning. Also a couple of incidences with a couple of patients that practically sumo wrestled me to the floor, and I had to go to A&E, so I had a really bad back, so I wasn't in any mood to record. But for my migraines I have been given a new medication, this injection with an unpronounceable name. I'll put it up on the screen for you, and then you can try to pronounce it if you like, and if you do, put a comment and said you did. So actually that medication has been working wonders. I've really been amazed at how well it's worked. My severe headaches, my migraines have gone down by 50%, and the consultant that I'm under at Leeds is actually very surprised it worked that well very quickly. So the plan is for me to keep going with this medication until about April, because they want to see how well I do without it, and also to wean me off my amitriptyline to see how I get on without that. So I'll just be on one medication, which will be really nice, because I hate taking tablets. Also, another reason why I've been abstinent is because when I've not done something for a very long time, I find it really hard to get back into things, because I have this anxiety over what if I mess it up, what if I don't do it right, and particularly since my channel is still very small, I do worry that I'm not doing anything that's worth watching, and that's always been a big fear of mine when I started my channel. But what I kept telling myself is, particularly before filming this, is that I can't worry about the number of subscribers or the number of views or the likes. Even though it's important, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing for me is to put out the content that I want to put out, particularly since I'm passionate about learning more about mental health as somebody who has a problem with their own mental health, and talking about chronic illnesses, and talking about fun things like going to the theatre, or going away for the day, or travelling, or particularly when we get to travel again. I mean, that stuff is important to me, and that's what I want to put on my YouTube channel. And that's what it has to be about. It has to be about me at the end of the day, not about how many subscriptions I get. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have, you know, followers that really enjoy what I do, but it shouldn't be about the amount, it should be about the quality. And I want people to watch it because they enjoy what I do, and that has to be what I tell myself every time I come to film. But if you do like what I do, and if you really enjoy what I put on YouTube, then do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done, share it with friends, with family who you might think that would really enjoy what I do, or might learn something from from mental health, from travelling and all that. So do pass the word on, it really helps me out a lot. And leave a comment as well if you've experienced what I've experienced, whether it be migraines, whether it be any other chronic illnesses or mental health that we talk about. Then leave a comment, because you never know, somebody else might be going through that, and it might benefit them, it might benefit you as well. Also, today's the 8th of December, and on the 10th of December I'm off to London! I'm so excited, I cannot wait. I'm having a weekend in London with my very, very best friend, Colette. We're going from Friday to Sunday. We've got a lot going on. On the Friday, we're just going to have a mooch around London, just visit the old sites that we really enjoy. And on Friday night, I'm going to see the Nutcracker at the Royal Opera House, and I finally get to go, because I was supposed to be going last May and I didn't because it had cancelled. I was supposed to see Swan Lake and I was so upset I didn't get to go, but now I get to go and see it, and I get to see the Nutcracker, which is one of my favourites, and I will definitely be doing a review on that, so I hope that you watch that as well. And on Saturday we're going to Hampton Court. We're going to go ice skating. Well, Colette will be ice skating. I'll probably be falling on my big bum, because that happened to me when I was in New York. My mother can verify that. We're going to go around the palace, we're going to go around the grounds. It's such a beautiful place. Hopefully I'll get to film some of it. Well, what they let me film, they might be a bit strict with it, but I'll do what I can. And then we're on the Saturday night, we're off to see a walking tour on the Jack the Ripper, which I've never done that before. So I think it's basically they're going to be taking us around where he did the murders. Colette has been wanting to go and see it for years, so I thought, right, you know what, she's off to the Opera House with me to see a ballet, even though she enjoyed it, but that's for me, so this is going to be for her, so it'll be different, going from classical ballet from one night and going to gory death in the other night. Well, we shall see. We'll see what it's like, it'll be different anyway. And then on Sunday morning, well, when we've packed up and we're leaving our lovely hotel, Hilton, we shall just be going around London, going to places we didn't get to see on Friday, and then we're going to the Tower of London, which, as you guys know, is one of my favourite places in not just London but the entire world. I love it. If I could live there, I would. I would love to live in the Tower of London. I mean, history at your feet. I mean, what could be better than that? So I will definitely be taking you guys with me and filming as much as I can. So that's another travel vlog in the making, and I'm looking forward to you guys seeing it. So that's it for today. I know this hasn't been much of a video, but at least it's explained what's happened to me during this year. As I've said before, like, subscribe if you haven't done, and leave a comment if you want. It would really be a big help to my channel, and I shall see you on the 10th of December in London. Goodbye.